20 billion naira annually for gas expansion projects. 80. From Benue State, PDP candidate urges tribunal to not over alleged forgery. Those are some of the headlines that are trending today in the last 24 hours. You can watch us on our various websites, social media platforms, our mobile app, ATN Live, on YouTube and Facebook, Atlantic Television Network. Joining me today are two gentlemen. You get their name by the time we come back in the second half of the program after this headline. You're welcome back. It is still ATM Press Roundtable, Atlantic Television Network here in the Garden City. Well, I'm sure you're watching us live. Let's look at some of our stories in detail. Nigeria Labour Congress protests proposed fuel price hike, threatens strike. The Nigeria Labour Congress has warned that its members will commence a nationwide strike without any formal notice if marketers increase the pump price of petrol without concluding the ongoing negotiations. The NLC President Joe Ajero admonished the federal government to stop the falling value of the naira. The threat by the organized labor followed hints by oil marketers on Sunday that the cost of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, will rise to between 780 naira per litre and 720 naira per litre in the coming weeks, should the dollar continue to trade between 910 naira and 950 naira at the parallel market. The marketers said dealers seeking to import PMS, we are being forced to put the plans on hold due to the scarcity of foreign exchange to import the commodity. Ajero is speaking. Now look at it, gentlemen. President Tinubu talked about, floating the naira. Was it floating they call it? Floating the currency. And he also talked about merging the parallel and to have a single market. So they were still talking about parallel market. That's one. And two, we're talking about the issue of
it's kind of unfortunate that we are falling towards this path. When we have a leader that have no vision, and we have a set of persons who call themselves leaders that have no vision, then you see things going astray. And I think at this point, it will remind Nigerians that we have a lot to do when it comes to saving the nation.
Yeah.
If the fuel, there's nothing they could do about the fuel. The NIC cannot do anything because already the people are not satisfied with what is going on and what the decisions the NIC has taken. What do we expect when we have the crew and we take the crew outside this country for refined and return it? Those who are in charge will always give their own price, and you don't have any option rather to buy from what you have got there. So this is because we will continue to rise because we don't even have any means to checkmate it.
Yes, I think that you're talking about the issue of product.
I think it's coming to the point where we say that the Tinubu administration is slow in the first place. And secondly, if you interpret our situation now within the rubrics of political economic theory, you know that is economy open without taking some stringent measures. Even when Babangida accepted to be devaluating the naira every Friday in the past, there are some times when it gets harder, he will intervene. We cannot go more than this.
Yes.
And yet, our economy we are running a sachet economy. Every other thing we are eating now is sachetized. A market in favor of who?
Exactly.
They carry our crude very cheap from here. And they return it very expensive. Now, another explanation is that the economy and in fact the country is still held spellbound by the cabals. The cabals are still on the throne. And I'm sure, it seems to me that
The importers, right?
both the importers and all that. Take for example,
Exporters of the crude.
Mele Kyari, who under Buhari was paying 1.something trillion, was paying this, that, is now a preacher of market economy. What happened then? Was market economy not there then? You see, this thing we are doing, if action is not taken, I don't know, maybe there will be intervention.
Now I think that one thing is very clear. Gentlemen, just joining us, I have two gentlemen here. I purposely decided to cool down on the introduction. I see I have Ike Wigodo here in the studio. It's a regular face, it's, the Secretary of NUJ. And then another veteran talking about Dr. Abraham Joy Kiri. Gentlemen, you're welcome once again to the program.
Thank you
now,
very much.
There's something very important here.
Yes.
When you blame the international economy for what is happening to us, what about the issue of country? But and some other reforms. But let's talk about productivity. Edo State today is showing example in the Niger Delta. Edo State is setting up or has already set up 2 modular refineries. Other states set up 3 modular refineries per senatorial zone. My brother. 9 times 3 is how much? There will be how many? 21, right? No, how much?
Yes.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah.
There will be about 21 modular refineries. That can at least
That's 27.
27. 27.
It's 27.
27. And with 27 modular refineries in the Niger Delta, we will need, the price of fuel will drop in this region because we need less of imported fuel. And if every other state in Nigeria starts with at least one, be able to produce up to 30% of our consumption quota, and then the remaining will now be left for importation, and the federal government will now be compelled to, maybe you should have had, are not going to solve our immediate problems. I think the NLC may have a very good reason to propose, to threaten strike.
Yes,
and that is what we are talking about.
Yes, your calculation.
Yes. Your
analysis.
Yes.
Refinery or
modular refinery.
Excuse me.
If it's one per state, it will be 36.
Is germane on the surface.
Yes.
When Dangote refinery was still under construction, he made it abundantly clear that he will not sell his fuel below 500 naira per liter. He made it clear.
Yes. Well, he's doing business.
I understand.
Yes.
And given the power of that oligarchic, the coterie and metli of that kind of capitalist, you know that even if you build 100 refineries, they will always come together to form an association. They will even enter into merger and acquisition.
No, but I'm talking about state government.
I am telling you, the state government.
Because the private people may do that.
The state government may not even
the state government will tell you that they don't have the wherewithal.
They have the money.
But they have. But what I will advise states of the Niger Delta.
Yes.
Now.
Should start.
They should get ready, not even to build the modular. As it is coming, there is a sign, obvious sign that the refineries will be sold out.
Yes. That's the point.
I understand.
Okay, for them to buy them.
Straight.
Okay.
Edo, Delta,
at least
and Bayelsa should get ready to buy the Warri refinery.
And Port Harcourt refinery.
Rivers.
Okay.
Akwa Ibom, Cross River, and all that should get ready to buy the Port Harcourt refinery. The northern part of Nigeria, those people there, they are buying the Kaduna refinery.
And then we should establish more modular refineries.
Yes, from support there to checkmate the evil plans of this privatized.
Privatization thing.
Yes, yeah. I understand. Can't you see that before now, when we had many cement producing companies in Nigeria, cement was cheap, was even available.
Yeah.
Somebody was giving the leverage to buy all of them. Look at the Ego cement here.
Yeah.
It's not producing. Somebody just bought it, let it die there. Those who would have worked there and earn a living, they don't care. So that is what is happening. Our states in the Niger Delta should get ready. Because the signal was already given by Obasanjo that time. In fact, that is one of the last measures he would have taken to sell off the refineries. And we saw that measure as evil. We criticized it and did everything. Now, those who are planning at our back said, okay, we'll teach you people a lesson. What happened to the refineries now?
Brother, I think that
lack of maintenance.
And
these are the people that will also go and bring the people that will repair it. And these are the people
around maintenance.
Yes, these are the people that will also go. They own these refineries overseas. where we are now going to refine. It's owned by these people, and they return it to us and tell us naira dollar has gone high, dollar has gone low.
Let me ask you to add to what you're saying. You are Secretary of the NUJ. Do you think NLC should go on strike?
Well, for me, it's necessary for them to go on strike, but I don't think they have the weight without to go on strike because already, yes, but already the people are disappointed. The workers are not happy with them. They have threatened to go on strike in several occasions. They couldn't. So for now, I doubt if workers will join.
But
and secondly, too, I would want to ask: is it only Nigeria, the oil-producing country, that fuel keep on increasing? For the past 3 months, they have increased fuel. What happens to other countries? We have not had in recent time that fuel has been increased in this most of this OPEC.
Yes. Well, first of all, let me take the NLC thing. NLC is only begging the question. It can only be to a docile human beings, people who are so, I won't use the word, any word, who are less concerned about their own welfare. If NLC succeeds, is it the whole Nigeria is suffering? So for even living to express their view for NLC, it's a very big mistake. Before, when we were students, it was the student and the market traders. That time there was not even phone. When situation changes, you see the students on the street. NLC was only drafted to quell or mellow the intensity of students' activity.
The point is that, as far as you're concerned, NLC is not proactive.
They are not, and the Nigeria should be proactive now.
NLC doesn't have the political will.
They don't.
Like you said, to go on strike, and that they are merely begging the question.
Yes.
That's what they are saying. But let the federal government do the needful. And what I like about NLC, they said, no increase should take place as long as negotiations are still going on between them and the government. And that sounds
that is the condition. What is the negotiation? So if today now they tell you, okay, the minimum wage of civil servants will now be 300,000, I will say, okay, you have done one. What happened? And the fuel price is still as it is. See, it is not. Where is it? Where is it done? In ordinary Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe is not an oil-producing country. They increased the price of fuel because they buy fuel from countries too. They in Zimbabwe increase fuel for just 5%. What happened?
Okay.
The motorists themselves stopped. Every person, market people stopped voluntarily without any waiting for any NLC or any union or trade DC. And government stood up
and became
reasonable.
Okay.
Took some powers. They were able to stand up to tell those who were teleguiding them that, look, we cannot obey you to destroy our country.
Okay, now let's look at another story. It still borders on Nigeria, and they say Africa is the centerpiece of Nigeria's
foreign policy.
Yes. And let's see how this one. U.S. backs ECOWAS, demands more pressure on junta, or UNTA as Spanish would call it. United States Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has underscored the importance of pressure in ensuring that the Niger junta releases President Mohamed Bazoum, who has been held in his residence since he was ousted by the military on July 26th. Commended the leadership of the chairman of the Economic Community of West Africa, President Bola Tinubu, for the decisions taken to reinstate the toppled Nigerian leader. Blinken's spokesman, Matthew Miller, said this in a statement on Monday, even as ECOWAS was insisting that Bazoum remain the legitimate president of Niger. The bloc condemned the treason charges against the deposed leader by the junta on Sunday night. The allegation came 24 hours after the military leader, General Abdulrahman Chiani agreed to explore diplomatic dialogue to resolve the political crisis, raising fears that this new turn of events might threaten the budding rapprochement achieved by the Islamic clerics. West African leaders had on August 10 ramped up the pressure against Nigeria's school leaders, ordering deployment of a regional standby force to restore democracy in the country and the coup-hit country. However, the leader of the Nigeria junta had agreed to explore diplomatic dialogue. You see, what is happening in Nigeria Republic has a lot. They have foreign pressures now, and I'm sure France, because of their military pact with France, with Niger, still have their military base in Nigeria Republic. But they have denounced the coup. America is rising up to speak in favor of ECOWAS. But a lot of people are saying there is so much complication in the internal politics of Guinea-Bissau.
And Niger.
Niger Republic. Now, we hear that there is an ethnic war, this partly ethnic. Bazoum is an Arab extraction, the Arab ethnic group. Minority ethnic group. They came from Saudi Arabia and or North Africa, the Arabs. And they are seen as minorities, but very powerful businessmen, traders, and what have you. So this coup has an ethnic undertone, and that makes it more rough, something that someone would not consider as having any ideological strength. If it doesn't have an ideological strength and is simply an ethnic battle, then ECOWAS has a case in point.
Well,
it's not as popular as we think it is.
Yes, ECOWAS has a point, but when you look at the whole situation, everything will boil down to Nigeria. And most Nigerians have also asked our president not to go to war against Niger.
Is that president going to war?
The ECOWAS not to go, because when everything boils down to Nigeria,
okay.
There will be no any other foreign aid if not Nigeria. That is why I've said, and wherever US or this foreign country comes in, then they have an agenda. They must profit. They don't do anything that they will not profit. And if we are going to war, what our expectation at the end of the war, like what we went to Liberia to do, we didn't gain anything, rather we spent
and lost life.
And lost life. And American cannot go to anywhere without having an intention or after benefit of it. Let's allow that. We should also know that Niger is a sovereign nation, and the president, they have come out to say the president has resigned, even if it was on duress. Yes, and he has been placed on house arrest. And they have also warned that if ECOWAS happens to do anything, they will eliminate the Bazoum. So and they have come out to say they are ready to agree on diplomacy, a diplomatic dialogue. I think we should
hold on that.
We should hold on that and see how they can.
What's the take on this?
It's all right. First of all, it's unfortunate that the event in Niger Republic is trumping up so many hidden things.
Exactly.
Why are they personifying government in Niger? Why are they saying it must be Bazoum? Bazoum must be done this, Bazoum must be done that. That man to me seems to be an agent of these people who are so interested in him now. It is not for the sake.
Are you sure they're not interested in democracy?
What kind of democracy? Oh, do you think that if you use the theory of imperialism, do you think that they are interested in your development? Do you think that, look, I read an article when shortly before Nelson Mandela fell sick. This situation the French-speaking countries have found themselves, which their forefathers on independence signed away. So on this particular year, a president of a country has to call Nelson Mandela that the situation he finds himself. No, when he said there is problem, Nelson Mandela, according to that article, asked him, has military taken over? He said no. Is there any problem? What is the problem? He said France is pressurizing him to pay that annual money that they used to pay to France. Even if their own the central banks of this French-speaking countries is the French central bank. So it was Mandela that spoke angrily to the president. Said, what is that? Then they must say, okay, we are forgiving him this year. He will not pay, but let him know that next year he will pay.
What are they paying? Is it reparation or what?
There is
some kind of extortion.
There is in international there is what we call loi and lieu kada.
That's a loan.
Yeah, no, it's a law that they signed. That yes, you ask for independence. Okay. Ordinarily, France and their colonies are one.
Because they have principle of association.
Assimilation.
Yes.
But they are one.
Association to assimilation.
But because you are looking at from the British West Africa, they want independence. Let us grant you. We are going to grant you independence. But you will sign that you will go away from us. All and Jawara, Jawara. President Jawara then, to now lean on Nkrumah, who gave him loan to start off something. So for 1960, Guinea-Conakry moved away from France and aligned with the English-speaking countries. So, because these people signed away their lives, because for a picture
now, the role of imperialism in the whole process is something we're talking about now. U.S. is backing ECOWAS, and it's backing ECOWAS because U.S. wants to defend their interests. One, two, U.S. wants to defend democracy, and we know their interests. Uranium, for example, is what they use in nuclear energy, and Nigeria has abundance of uranium and other solid minerals. And that is the problem with Congo-Bissau, Congo-Brazzaville, or the two Congos, Zaire, all of them. These countries will never know peace because of
the mineral resources.
Especially this type of mineral resources, uranium. Probably we don't have uranium in this country. We don't have it.
Are you sure we don't have it?
No, economic quantity.
Not that level. There is in Zamfara,
but not the level.
No, the problem that it has not been
not the level you have in Congo.
No, the thing is that it's just like we have gold in abundance.
But not much.
Who says so?
Not like.
That is what is causing the problem. This terrorism and all that. People moved from Central African Republic because the Russian warlords are there pursuing them. So they moved all their equipment. They are the people digging the golds and selling and all that. Now it is in abundance. So, whether you like it or not.
So the
problem in Niger is this uranium.
Yes.
Because what they used to get when they used to get their supply from Russia, but because of the Russia-Ukrainian war, Russia cut off.
So they are getting it's now
in Niger
and the Congo.
Meanwhile, Niger does not have a plant,
a nuclear plant.
It's just a plant to even power their electricity. Nigeria cut off, and they are in darkness.
Exactly.
I don't understand. So if you look at it, you now begin to see the reason why people are supporting the military. Must it be democracy that will bring suffering? But even the military too cannot be trusted.
No, they can be trusted.
They can start with good when they stabilize it.
They are slaves to Russia. Yes. That's what they are doing. They have already enslaved themselves to Russia.
I thought
the water break. When we come back, we'll continue with some of the stories. We'll have a lot of interesting stories and to trail on this program. Don't get away. Well, welcome back from the water break. We're talking about security here now. We've talked about external affairs. Africa is the centerpiece of Nigeria's diplomacy. Bandits killed 2 Plateau teachers. Youths demand ban on open grazing. Bandits have attacked a secondary school in Riyom, local government area of Plateau State, and killed 2 teachers. It was learned that the victims were a newly married couple who were teaching at the Beko Comprehensive Secondary School in the Quick community of the council area. Eyewitnesses said the incident happened on Monday afternoon when the school was holding a meeting to compile results of students for delivery on Friday, 18th August, during their speech and prize-giving day in line with the school's calendar. A youth leader in the community, Moses Quat, who confirmed the killings to newsmen in Jos on Tuesday, said that the bandits also wounded 2 teachers, including the vice principal of the school. Quat said, unquote, it was on Monday around 3 p.m., that the bandits came into the school compound with their cutlasses and interrupted the staff meeting. The staff had asked the bandits, who were obviously Fulani, to get their house out of the school environment, but instead of complying, they brought out their arms and opened gunfire at the teachers, killing 2 teachers. We're still having issues. So that's the contradiction in what is happening to ECOWAS. Our own president is the arrowhead. Nigeria definitely is the arrowhead of whatever onslaught that is being planned for Niger Republic. The superpowers are backing ECOWAS. But how much of backing have they given to Nigeria to restore Nigeria from the clutches of insecurity? That is the question. And today, we are still talking about banditry. We are still talking about Fulani herdsmen killing Nigerians. Before, they said these men came from Niger Republic. Today, the borders are closed, and we are still having Fulani herdsmen clashes with farmers in the belt.
That is the contradiction in the analytical trend in Nigeria's events.
Yes.
When something we learned, when they were about to take on these people face to face, somebody, a military, will call them, or their commander, retreat. When they are about to decimate these people. What correlation has AK-47 with rearing of a cow? Which means they are already set for war. And the unfortunate thing is that they have abandoned their places because this is planned. They are now here, even as far back as River State. At about 6 years ago, at Ohalelu in the Oba Ebe Mandoni local government area, cows came to eat somebody's farm, even in his plot, in his house, killed him.
You dare not say something.
And they killed him in his house there, and no one to bury. What did they do? Police did not intervene. Army Atelele did not intervene. They went to the traditional ruler. The traditional ruler just went there. They told them, hold the peace. And that is the end. The man has died. At Bonny, such incident, it is happening everywhere.
At Lily, somebody's hand was placed on the chair and cut.
Can you imagine? So these people they are not coming to rear cow. They have come for a war they have planned, only waiting for signal.
Well, we can't confirm that on national television. We can't confirm that on national television.
Please,
that's the point.
I think our security should be for, and it's very unfortunate that the law is made for everybody.
Yes.
But sometimes I ask if these laws are made for a particular set of tribe, because these people are always on the news. The cattle realize, the herdsmen, they have killed so persons and other, and nobody will be arrested. Nobody will be prosecuted. So sometimes I ask.
The judge disappear in the thin air.
I say, the same people tomorrow or the next day, you will see them with their cow on the people's farm. So, are you telling us that these people are untouchable? So, I think when we want to fight crime, we should be decisive. For a crime, whoever that is concerned should be held responsible and be brought to book. I think if that is done, some of these persons were, because I know even in some area, even in our streets, where they found out that those who are picking this manhole and others, when they are arrested, they are taken to police station. The next day, you will see them. Somebody police officer. Somebody must have released them. Mm-hmm. So it is high time we, all of us, be patriotic and ensure that our laws are respected.
Even when there is a law, as in Rivers State, there is this law banning open grazing.
Okay, open grazing.
And that's what the use. That's what the use we are talking about.
Yes.
The use are shouting that open grazing must be banned.
Yes, but there are laws in different styles. Law of Benue, there is a law.
I guess.
There is a law against open grazing.
Enforcement is the problem.
That is the problem.
And the
people who enforce it are the same people. Those people who arm them. Is there any?
I think what happened on this matter, what happened was that the Buhari government emboldened them, since they had the Miati Allah and the same Plateau State. There was a recent meeting convoked between Miati Allah and the indigenous population in Plateau State, and they agreed that they were going to sheathe the sword. Now the word now is bandit. Are they bandit or are they headers? Because that is the problem, which means that there's no difference between headers and bandits.
You know,
and that's the confusion.
In the law of change of name, you say, I formerly call an address as this, now wish to be called.
Yes.
But meanwhile, all information regarding my former name still remains valid.
So I understand what you're saying. Now let's go to the next story, because this story is becoming very interesting, because time is not on our hands. Women are arraigned for supplying false information. That is an interesting story. You're a lawyer, I'm sure you will say something about this. A woman, Blessing Odo, was on Monday arraigned before a magistrate court sitting in the Yaba area of Lagos State for allegedly misleading Nigerian police with false information on a murder case. The police arraigned the defender before Magistrate Adola Olatunbosu on 2 counts of provision of misleading and false information. The 21-year-old was alleged to have told policemen at the Satellite Divisional Headquarters and the State Criminal Investigation Department, Panti, that one Christopher Ibekwe murdered one Moses Chidi by pushing him into the river. The information was confirmed during the course of the investigation to be false. The police prosecutor Rita Momo told the court that the defendant committed the offense on November 3, 2022 in the Aboju area of Lagos State. It's a case of poor information management, right?
Well, you cannot say poor information management.
Or failure to manage.
Yes. You see, there is offense.
And false alarm.
There is offense when you provide false information to the police. And even recently, there was even a law that this whistleblower, when you blow falsely, you are in trouble and you will go for 7 years imprisonment.
And when you blow
I also believe that this is what is playing out. If you are not sure of what you have seen, or if you want to indict another person because maybe you had issue with the person and you decide to report to police what didn't happen, I think it's time for you to go in for it. Yeah, I think 7 years is before her.
We just say that giving information to the police, correct information without malice or mischievousness, is always a good thing, because it is from such information
that they operate.
Yes. Now, when the information becomes false, is at the point of malicious intention to either undo somebody or incriminate another person.
What about out of ignorance?
Well, if out of ignorance, as maybe the lady,
there was a confusion.
Yeah, somewhere. Maybe somewhere.
Yeah.
And in doing so, the law would have protected her in the information she had given when she used, if she had used the word alleged.
Alleged, yes.
I
suspect.
Yes, I suspect that this thing happens like this, this. Then the police will not take very stringent measures.
Okay. And if she stands her feet,
yes,
or she stood her feet to say, this is what happened.
I was passive when this thing happened. But if she's incited by another person, maybe two men are quarreling and one bought her over. You know, people buy witnesses in court.
Yeah.
They buy them. So if that is the intention or not.
But in the other hand, too, we should not conclude, because this information is also coming from the police. And you know, our police, sometimes they cannot be trusted, because at the end, he may not know what have played out. Sometimes things could turn around. Maybe the other person is having upper hand, either influential or so. Police decide to see how they could turn everything around. And that is why I said we have to be patriotic in whatever institution we find ourselves.
I believe that the human rights organizations in Lagos will provide aid to her.
Exactly.
Yes.
The human rights. Well, I think that's the much you can take on that. Let's look at this story of Naira soaring every day. Naira nears 1,000 per dollar, raises concern amid CBN probe. Nigeria's currency has continued to experience free fall against the dollar 2 months after the Central Bank of Nigeria floating Naira, a decision that has further worsened the woes of Africa's largest economy. From 14 June, when CBN liberalized the forex market, till date, the country's currency has continued to slump against the dollar from 750 Naira to a dollar at the parallel market known as the black market, to 950 Naira to a dollar on Monday, August 14th. The situation became more worrisome as the gap between the official window and the parallel market widened with a differential of $181, defeating the essence of CBN's floating of the Naira. That is one thing that I have to look at. And that's why I stopped there reading that story, because I don't have time. But the point is that the floating of the Naira, part of the economic policy that people were clapping for Tinubu, removing the parallel market, is still there. And they're still talking about black market. And we are doing CBN probe. I thought that the probe would have even made the bank to sit up. We hear that the bank doesn't even have enough currency and all that.
Yes.
So what the hell are we doing?
When you see,
when
you see, if you go to Romola,
yes,
Presidential Hotel,
yes,
ordinarily, those boys
are still there.
What do they work to even be able to touch the dollars that even somebody here, an elite here, cannot even come by? This money is in the hands of politicians who are running illegal
forex.
Yes, these are the places where they don't just theoretically orally just come out on inauguration day.
Floating,
yes, I want to close the gap. There will be nothing like a parallel market. This is one market.
Yeah.
You don't throw your addition like that.
Yeah, let's have the last 1 minute.
On the issue of naira and dollars, I think it will continue to do it because we should. The most important thing is that Nigeria should be productive, and if we are productive, we will have more. We will have our naira will be valued more. Will come into the country and they will use it. But if we continue to depend on exportation, then it will be very difficult for us.
Well, I think that's the much we can take on today's program. We're looking at Atlantic Television Network, Press Roundtable. I've had two wonderful gentlemen here, Ike Ugodo